We should probably bring Dell in too. We're going to bring Dell in right from the beginning instead of doing that weird thing where I make him wait.
About time. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, good. I've been trying to get your attention for a half hour.
Okay, I gotta pull this a little closer. I'm gonna sit close to our guest here and just we're gonna chat here.
There we go.
There you go. You know.
There we go.
You don't need to see my face.
I heard it was casual Wednesday, so I'm wearing my cardigan.
Well, aren't you just like dad like?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
Fair enough, right? Okay, so we are officially at the 7:30 hour. Let's do the quick intro. So thanks for anybody who is watching, whether this be live or you're jumping in on the rebroadcast or the recording or that kind of stuff. This is the website VU broadcast for what is it, September 18th, Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. here Mountain Time. So what's this broadcast about? We get on here and we talk about crap. We talk about the crap in industries, the things that are going on. We talk and we're real about it. Hey, Parvani's already jumped in and said hi. Good to see you. So, we talk about what's going on in industries, and we talk about the real stuff instead of a lot of the fluff and the marketing. We want to actually talk about what's going on. Yeah. So our guest today is, Dell's here too. So it's Dell and Greg are both here. Say hi, Dell.
Hi, Dell.
I knew you. Why?
Well, what do you should know.
I should know. I shouldn't be saying these things. So, Del P and Greg T. Do you like that? That's
like, is that a rap band?
It could be. Okay, we maybe got another career going here.
I don't think so.
Don't think so. All right. Okay, enough of that. Let's finish the intro. So our guest today, we've got Trevor Carter from D'Angelo Photography. He is a local professional photographer. And honestly, he's good at what he does. And we're going to talk about the stuff in the industry that, stuff that's going on. Mm-hmm. So Trevor, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Good to have you. He came right into the home studio here to do this.
Yeah.
He's crazy, right?
I wouldn't go there again.
No.
Really?
There's cats everywhere.
I'm joking. I'd totally go there again.
Love you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Trevor, we tend to jump right into things, so we're just going to do it. Okay.
I think so.
The reality of things here, as far as I'm just going to kind of do some stuff here. The reality of where you're at, as far as your industry is concerned, is you're a professional photographer.
Yep.
You're good at what you do. I've seen a lot of the work you've done. Love it. You've got. Where's the industry going? Talk to me. I say we just jump right in there.
Yeah, definitely. The industry is in a state of flux for sure. It happened before. It's not just the first time it's happened. I mean, back in the early 80s, autofocus came into play. And, guess what? Everybody was a photographer all of a sudden. So digital did the same thing about 15, 20 years ago. People just grabbed their cameras and they were all of a sudden a photographer. So there's a lot of people that, quit their jobs and turned into what they wanted to do originally, or their dream job, I guess is what you would say. And they're a photographer. So
what you're saying, there's a lot of photographers out there.
There's a lot of photographers, and you know what? There's a lot of other things too. There's a lot of DJs. There's a lot of.
Hey, whoa. Dell, you've been a photographer and a DJ.
Yeah, I've been paid for both, so I guess I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, really? If that's your definition. But really, okay, like I know you've got good equipment. Okay, I've seen, and I am talking as cameras, right? And Dell, I know that you've invested money as well. But realistically, like we talked about a little of this before as we were getting ready, these things, it's an issue. Let's be real. A good friend of mine just the other day said he was looking at getting a new iPhone because it has 3 cameras, therefore it's special. And that'll be you. Yeah.
The thing is, though,
it's interesting because I'm not a photographer. I'm not a photographer. I'm a trained videographer, and it's very different. It's very different. I have been. As far as photography goes, I'm published in a book that was on the New York Times bestseller list, which is kind of neat. It's a picture I didn't realize I took, but the guy who wrote the book loved it for what he was doing. It's very cool. I've done photography for bands and for different brands, and I've used product photography. a lot of stuff, but I certainly don't consider myself a professional photographer. I've used my DSLR a lot. I've used film a lot. And I tend now, it's interesting we're talking about the phone thing, because I tend now not to take my DSLR places. So I'm lucky. I'm very lucky in the job that I've got now. I'm the marketing director for a construction company. We've got a great content creation guy, and he is a photographer. I watch what he does. I watch the equipment he uses. I watch how he does a lot of HDR photography and processes the images, and it blows my mind, because it's so far removed from what I know how to do. Like I literally can take you into a dark room. I can process the film.
Yep.
It's true though, not like a dark room, but the dark room. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think the technology, there's a couple of things to consider. You mentioned it. The technology's changed multiple times. It's going to keep changing. That's the way the world is.
Well,
it's going to change
in every
faster,
industry too, realistically, right? We've got to adapt or die.
Well, that's the whole thing,
sure.
right? Adapt or die is the way to do it. As a photographer, you can hold on to straws as much as you want, and you can still have a dark room, I suppose, but if you don't keep up with your Photoshop skills and you don't keep up with the new stuff it's in today, out today is what it is, right? So if you're not giving your clients what they're looking for, it's really easy to fall short of what you can offer, what everybody offers, right? So you just got to be a little bit ahead of the game a little bit.
Oh yeah, and I think it was funny. We were doing a shoot of a building today, so one of the buildings that my company built, and there was a great opportunity in this beautiful golden wheat field with a beautiful kind of gray sky with these bubbling clouds. So we did a bit of a product or an advertising shot, and I watched what our photographer did with it afterwards in the back at the office. It was pretty cool, but I was the model, which is funny in itself, but he framed me in a way which was good for what the picture was, but it wasn't good for what we were going to do for the ad. So I said, that's cool. I love what you've done with it. Give it to me. I'll just move myself over. And he's like, what? So so I just did my Photoshop stuff and moved it over, and you wouldn't be able to tell. But you mentioned about technology changing and keeping up with Photoshop skills and what people like, and that's all great. But at the end of the day, if you don't know squat about composition, your stuff's going to suck.
Well, and that's why you can't just have an iPhone in your pocket and call yourself a photographer, because photography is a lot of things, but the main thing photography is painting with light. So you need to learn how to paint with light, and there's kinds of lights. There's strengths of light, there's colors, there's temperatures, there's direction of light. There's all sorts of things that you need to know. I mean, if you have an iPhone, great, but if you don't know anything about composition, lighting, even how to deal with people, if that's your thing, if you're dealing with people, dealing with groups or
that's
doing
not
events.
Just photography, that's dealing with people.
Well, dealing with, that's just people skills just generally, but with photography, if you are dealing with people, you need to know how to deal with people. And people come in all shapes and sizes, and their attitudes are all different all the time. So you could come across, if you're shooting weddings, a bridezilla, where you might be getting cornered and you don't know what to do, and so your day could get completely ruined if you don't know how to deal with.
They'll shake his head. I know.
No, I
wouldn't do it.
I would never do a wedding. I did for 2 years. I did Santa Claus photography.
Right. So you were Santa Claus, or
no? I was a photographer.
You did the pictures.
So but I understand what you're talking about, people, and you've got. With the Santa Claus photography, we did some really cool stuff, but every family's different, every kid's different. And, I approached it from the point of view where I don't want the perfect picture every time. I want some reactionary pictures. So I got, it wasn't just the pose shot of the kids looking at the camera. I got them interacting with Santa. Unfortunately, I was the guy that loved the crying, screaming pictures. I think they're going to be great 20 years down the road when these kids get married. But by no means, again, is that a professional photographer gig for me? Like it was insane. It was like production production work. It was just like rolling people through and just rolling people through and rolling people through and getting their shots.
Right.
We did it a little bit differently than you do it at a mall, but
it happens with his thing sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we call grip and grins in photography world.
Which?
It's called a grip and grin. So it's just really get your $10, get the next guy on Santa's knee sort of thing, right? So
you're absolutely right about painting with light. One of the major things, when I went to school for videography, I understand light for video very well. And then when I decided to be a photographer, I couldn't figure out how to use light for the life of me. And it's very different using still light than it is using video light.
Yeah.
And I still don't get it. I mess around with it and I still don't get it. And I'm just impressed with people's skills on that. It's incredible to me.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah.
And while we're talking there, I was throwing up some pictures that Trevor and I were looking at before. And you can see the screen as we're doing this, Ado?
No.
No? Awesome. You can't see this. So you couldn't tell that I was doing all this extra stuff then?
I thought you were looking up at Tanya or something. I just saw you looking up over somewhere.
Oh, wow. Okay, no.
Sorry.
I'll describe what we're looking at. How's that?
Oh, please do.
So you'll be connected somehow to this. Okay. Just because we're talking about the wedding photography and stuff, I'm gonna do a solo shot here. No, this is a couple.
Oh, there, I see it now.
You see it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were talking about your iPhone versus a professional.
Oh, let me go to that other picture for that one because this is a good one for that.
Okay.
Let's just nail this one.
Sure. Yeah. So I was tasked to do a shot with my iPhone of the scene I'm using my DSLR for. So my DSLR is on the left picture there. And that's just an iPhone shot. So anyone could take that. A lot of realtors do that, which is crazy because you go shopping online and you see these pictures and you go, oh, who wants to live in that dark, haunted house? Right. So, but you know what? Technology has a lot of different things now, or like adapt or die. So there's an HDR program I use where I'm actually taking 9 exposures for each image. So nine different stop differences, stop apart, and my program stitches them together. It's never good enough though. I still go in and I might make the sky blue.
So you're a perfectionist.
It's my
okay. That's a good thing.
It's my downfall kind of. I like to use the word what's the word I like to use? It's not the word anal. My sister likes to use that word.
The anal one?
Particular.
Oh, particular.
Particular is a better word. But
I can be particular.
but that works in my clients' favors because you know what? I'm never going to be happy. Looking at this now, I'm looking at the green recycle bin. I'm like, why didn't I take that out of there?
Nice.
No one likes these. I mean, you might like them for convenience for putting away the garbage in,
but not in your photos for stuff. But seriously, looking at this, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking and saying, okay, like composition wise, we've mentioned that a few times. Yeah. You take a look at this, and I'm going, okay, you know what? Obviously, the house on the right, I'd rather buy. It's the same freaking place.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna throw something here. I'm gonna open up a different picture, so we're gonna have a little thing coming here because I, for some reason, didn't get up before. But I want to show this one because the comment that I made earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, check this out. Okay, so we've got virtually the exact same shot. Now, is this right that the left was a different photographer, right?
It was, yes.
Okay. So I heard the story. What it was is you got the same house being sold, a different realtor or same realtor?
I'm not sure. I think it is the same realtor.
Okay. So, but it was kind of done one time, and then Trevor's hired to come in and do this stuff.
Yeah.
And I looked at this and went, wow. See the house on the right or the living room on the right, I could hang out there.
Yeah.
The one on the left, that's a place where people get sweaty.
Where people get sweaty. Is it because the window's so hot?
Right?
The window's like, don't touch it. It's hot.
The look on Del's face, I love that. Am I wrong? Like, what'd you think there?
No, I totally get it. We just we build homes too, so we had our photographer go and shoot the house and taking it through. I know this is different stuff here, but I'm always amazed at what he shows me in the end. Yeah. So when you're talking about the HDR stuff again, I absolutely love it and get it. And I love watching him mess with light and change light and make light right. Because sometimes, it's you try your best and you get your shots, and there could be a little flare, a little hot spot or whatever. And windows are tough, man. Windows are tough. Unless you're you.
Pop in.
What's that?
There's that shot you had of the mirror.
Oh, the mirror.
Okay, I didn't put this picture here. You got to picture this, okay? And this is so what I guess we're nailing here is like let's just I'm gonna go back a little bit. We'll come back to this one.
Okay, yeah.
We talked about it before, like when we're talking about how things come and they change, all that kind of stuff, right? The days are gone where the photographer sets up and does, frames everything, does it all just perfectly because that's the picture. Yeah. You take the shot, it's over, you go get developed, and you can do some exposure things on the development, but that's it. I'm gonna overexpose, I'm gonna underexpose, whatever. That's as far as it goes. Yeah. And I'm gonna just call it. So yeah, we can do a lot more. You have to be an expert in a lot more things now, right?
It's true.
You gotta look past, but yeah. But so we kind of said. I said this off the air, and I said, I'm gonna bring this up when we start talking, right? And and that was okay. So does that make you more of a professional or less of a professional because you can just do whatever and then change it?
No, I think it makes you more of a professional, because you need to have those skills to be able to manipulate those images. And also, what are you going to manipulate? Like, how are you going to make it better? I mean, when you had film, you're right. I mean, you're gonna take a shot, and your film doesn't lie. You can do a couple darkroom tricks, burning and dodging and things like that. But
right.
Overall, it's really hard to switch heads or switch faces, or if you've got a group,
they did it with Kennedy and Lee Harvey Oswald, though.
Yes, that's true.
In theory.
Yeah.
I'm putting that in the title. We talked conspiracy.
Listen, the last time you and I went to Dealey Plaza in Dallas, that was there, and we were there. We know. Let's not get conspiracy stuff going here.
Yeah. In this spot, something significant happened, remember?
And they didn't say what. It's weird. It's creepy. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. We did the whole show on that. Okay, next show, conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, that could be fun.
Yeah.
I might have.
Let's get back to photography.
Okay, we got a question. Let's just do that, and then we'll come back around. Okay.
What questions do you guys have?
No, we got Rob Kirkham. He's on here. It says, "Boys and Trevor, I think that the standard person may want to know what does it cost to photo and for photos and drones."
Photos and drones?
Well, that's going to range, right? Drones. He's got a drone in here. We're talking. He should fly it, right?
What do you got? What is it?
DJI Phantom 3 Pro. I got a couple of these things.
Yeah, that's what we use at work too. That's awesome.
He's registered and licensed to do it. He can legally do it.
Yeah. Well, legally doesn't mean you could do it, because legally means that that you can't do it anywhere.
That's fair.
Right?
That's because
it's a different world now. I mean,
you cut out again.
Man. I cut out.
You do this weird thing where all of a sudden you get really noisy. It's kind of funny.
So Rob Kirkham, what does it cost for photos drone? It really depends on the client, because a lot of times clients have a big budget. So I like my job, so I like to deal with everybody and get everybody's content done for them. But for a drone pictures, for example, if I'm going to go do a property or an acreage or something like that, drone photos itself is like $125. It's like 10 shots in the sky.
So that's single shot, so not video.
Single shots, not video. So there's a big.
Okay, where do you go on the video side?
The video side.
Because that's the thing.
So some clients have an artistic team. They have a creative suite where they just want the raw video. So that's lower than if I'm going to actually do a full edited piece where I'm going to pick music that I need to make sure is royalty-free music so we don't get sued. So that's a big chore.
Your lawsuits are bad.
I can't just use the old AC/DC track or something from whatever. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. But for a full video.
Music happened. I did that.
We have a video keyed up here, I guess. It's one of my newest ones.
Getting it ready. It's kind of cool.
I mean, I shoot for real estate agents where the cost might be a little bit less than if it's for a home builder and I'm doing like a show home parade for a big marketing campaign.
Right. Let's take a look. Hold
sure.
on. I just want to throw this up. No, I like this. It's kind of cool. It's got royalty-free music. You talked about that.
Royalty-free music.
Here comes. Okay, are we there? Let's hit play and go for it. All right. It's a lot smoother in live. I'll tell you that. It's not. It doesn't jump.
Is it jumping like this on the podcast?
Probably.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking that's our. our bandwidth. That's me and my processor because my computer is overloaded, plain and simple. Well, it's okay because in the rebroadcast, I'll make sure that this is in, and you'll see the really cool version. How's that? Only I won't be talking over it.
But the client is specifically.
Well, I love the shots.
Yeah, and you couldn't get those shots before unless you can fly or had a helicopter.
Yeah, right. Helicopter, right? Yeah.
I mean, I've been in a helicopter 3 times for photo shoots, and it's thousands of dollars to get these kinds of shots. Where now you can just throw your drone up and you're good. But a client like this is a home builder itself, so you spend a little more time, you do a little more communicating, get back and forth with their creative directors. So the cost is a little more, of course, because it's going to take a little more work, a little more research.
I like that shot. It's cool.
But these kinds of shots for entry level, like these little videos I'm doing, they're about a minute to a minute and a half. They start at around $400 and go up to about $2,000.
Wow.
They're that price now because I'm actually just new at doing little video productions like this.
Right.
My past is all photography. It's been 25 years full time in photography. But again, it's that adapt or die thing, right? Business coaches, lots of people that are really up to their speed with social media. They tell me all the time that video content has more traction, whether you're looking to do marketing or
huge.
Yeah, huge. Exactly. Yeah. So I want to adapt or die. I don't want to die. So adapting for me is a main thing. I mean, I'm not a videographer, but I have an editing team that does it for me. So my main thing is to deal with the clients, kind of to be a director more and put it together. And I just need to make sure my communication skills are good enough so my editors know what I want, know the music, where to put things like that.
So what you're saying is you're a smart businessman. You don't just do it all yourself. Like really,
well,
right? Gee, I wonder, do we know anyone that does that? Smile
now.
That's another thing I've learned in being a business owner is that this is the best advice I've ever gotten. I'm sure everyone's heard it a million times, but it's do what you're good at.
Yeah.
And
get other people
to do the other stuff, right? Because
what if you're really good at, so I've seen your Photoshop work. You're very good there.
Yeah.
Can you trust other people to do as well as you do? And how do you like that?
Yeah.
Well, that's been a real that's been tough for me because I am particular.
Yes.
So to give someone else the
in our
reins,
first broadcast, I think Del referred to me being rather particular with things as well.
Well,
so.
But it's interesting you're talking about Photoshop because I consider myself an expert at Photoshop. You consider yourself an expert at Photoshop. And I'm sure you consider yourself an expert at Photoshop. Right, and I bet you if you gave us a project and wanted an outcome, all three of us would do it in a different way.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying the picture would look different at the end, but we would do it in a different way to get to that end.
Yep.
Oh, it's crazy. And I've got a designer at work and she's incredible. And she shows me things that I'm like, well, why did you do it that way? Because I would have just done it like this. And it blows her mind because I think I'm not trained in Photoshop. I learned Photoshop myself. She was trained in Photoshop at school and understands the right way to do it.
Right.
And she watches what I do with the eraser tool. And she's like, how do you do that? Because she'll do a mask and do all this stuff. And I'm like,
totally. Really, but the right way now is not going to be the right way later. That will change.
That's messing my head. Stop it.
Oh, it's true. It's just like Photoshop changes hotkeys. It's going to keep changing.
Yeah, for sure.
They do that.
Please tell me that you guys at least use a stylus when you're doing Photoshop.
I can't talk. No, sorry. No, this is my stylus right here.
You guys are clicking around with the mouse.
Hey, I can do some amazing things with this mouse. There you go. There you go. That's there.
Little white com. Good.
I look at that as cheating, man.
No, man. You know what? Coming from ACAD as a painter, I was a painter before I became a photographer.
I'm a painter.
Yeah, man. So it's all about pressure sensitivity, and it's all about. I just like to have the feel of actually, doing artwork. When I'm clicking around the mouse,
I think we need to do a Photoshop challenge.
Oh yeah! All right, there it goes. Boom. Let's go.
I'm game.
What is it?
I'm up.
So let's figure out. This is what we're gonna do. So for the next show, whether we're all here or not, doesn't matter. We're gonna throw down whatever this challenge is by the end of the night. We'll email each other what it's going to be. Actually, Greg, you're in charge, so you can decide what the subject's going to be. Whatever.
2 weeks, and I'll never get back to you for a while, right?
It's
Make it not the next broadcast. Make it in 2 broadcasts.
Okay.
If you can't handle it, that's your problem.
It's on. It's
Cheap
on.
tricks, man. I don't know.
Let's do it. Okay. Yeah,
anyway, we'll figure it out. But whatever the timing is, let's do that. Let's do this Photoshop challenge.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay. We got a question I want to get to, but I want to throw it out there. Anybody who's watching, any ideas for this challenge? Just go for it. Give us something.
Like
okay. Yeah. Because we're gonna make up stuff, and let's face it, I could make up something that's going to it's gonna make sense for me because it's something I specialize in or something I really enjoy doing and I'm used to. And same with the rest of us. So let's see if anybody's got anything. So what we want is a challenge so that involves taking maybe pictures, putting them together, doing something with lighting, doing something with anything. I don't care. Is that fair?
Anything.
Okay, let's go with that. Okay, so anybody who's watching, we got some people watching.
Okay.
If you got some ideas, make a comment. So while you guys are thinking about that, there was another comment. We should probably put that out there.
Carvana's got a question.
Yeah, and it's good because this is
Yeah.
You're on a show. You should get this one. Okay, it's good. I know you take wedding pictures too. How far in advance should a bride book you?
Good
You're
question,
a busy guy.
Carvana. Well, I love shooting weddings.
How come the bride's booking?
How come the bride's booking?
Yeah, why isn't it the groom?
Are you kidding me?
Okay,
I booked it with my wedding.
Did you really?
You must have.
You're rare.
Pink panties on then, my friend.
Oh.
Do you know what?
Don't.
I'm just kidding.
You just checked.
I'm a planner.
Back when I used to book a lot of wedding consultations, I tell you this: if the bride wasn't going to show up, if the groom would show up at the studio and come through the door and say, "Hey, Melissa can't show up," I just say, "Let's rebook it," because you know what, Jerry or whoever that is, he's not any say in what's happening.
He's not as particular.
No, it's not even particular. I don't know if you know this, but weddings, it's the bride's day, 100%.
Right.
Guys just go smile and nod, honey.
What?
Come on, man.
I don't know. I love my wedding.
I found that I've booked hundreds.
I believe that comment was for you, Duh.
But
thanks, Tracy.
Carvana, sorry, I'm going to get right back to this. So you say how far in advance should a bride book? It really depends on whether it's the long weekend in August or a Wednesday in June, because those long weekends, they get booked sometimes as far back as 2 years in advance, right?
You're kidding me.
So if you find your
Holy
photographer
crap.
and it's somebody that's like really good that you really want, don't wait. Just book them. Just put down a deposit.
Do you change your prices depending on the season?
No.
Because a lot of people would, right?
No.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Well, a lot of people do. It's supply and demand, right? Like I know. Okay, on the entertainment side, I know that there's a lot of entertainers. Christmas time, their pricing goes up because they're going, okay, a lot more people are going to want us. Therefore, it's got to be worth more. I don't do it myself. I'm the same year round.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious. I'm always curious to see where it's going, and we're being frank, and I wanted to see what your answer would be.
Well, like everyone has a budget.
Yeah.
So because of the downturn in Calgary, it's not an artist's market anymore. So, there's been a few tricks I've learned just in this economy, how it's tricky for artists, and a lot of artists I've known and that are really good artists, photographers, whatever they are. A lot of them had to, get real jobs. So, you know what? One thing I've learned is to not just throw down a price to somebody. My first question to anybody, especially a bride, is going to be, what's your budget?
Yeah.
Because a lot of brides, they want to have a beautiful day. They want to have a good time, but they don't have all this crazy, extra money that they might once have had.
And they might have something in mind, and therefore you can maybe accommodate to whatever they're thinking.
Yeah. And so, I love to shoot weddings. I think they're a lot of fun. I didn't shoot them as much when my kids were small, but now my daughter's 17. She comes on my shoots with me, and she's an artist like I am. So, it's really cool to see her interested in the arts, and I'd love for her to, be able to make a little bit of income from our company.
Well, that's cool, getting your daughter into it.
Yeah.
My daughter won't have anything to do with my
No.
business. She,
So
wants to be herself.
For that reason, I
Which is good.
I would do a wedding at a budget
Yeah.
just to do it. I mean, if I wasn't going to shoot that.
So if you're free.
If I'm free and I'm not going to have another big shoot that day, I might just take it just to give my daughter the experience. And, I've done so many that it doesn't make me nervous. It's fine. I know it's going to be good. And then of course, you're just going to get that those people saying that, hey, this guy gave us a deal, and maybe it's going to give me a little bit of a better name just for the future.
What do you hate? What do you hate or dread shooting? What's the worst kind of shoot for you?
The worst kind of shoot.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you hate? I hate shooting products.
You hate shooting what?
Products.
Products. Not what I heard.
Yeah.
Products
Butter.
are fine. I don't mind.
I don't want to shoot butter.
Butter. You know what? If the price is right, I would shoot butter all day.
I couldn't do butter. No, I get that.
I don't know. I don't
I'm not
like
feeling it.
I don't like using the word hate ever because it's such a negative word. But if there was one shoot that I would maybe refer to other photographers that I know about that would maybe do a better job, and it would be probably infants and maternity. I've done lots of that, but you got to face facts. I think a woman might have just that softer touch, especially when it comes to like just a newborn baby or something.
Yeah, infants got to be tough because they don't care.
They don't care.
Please stop doing that. Yeah. They're busy.
And one shoot could take 4 hours because the temperature in the house needs to be adjusted. Now it's feeding time. Now it's snap time, and my lighting setup. We're ready to go. But you know what? I'm at the mercy of an infant that doesn't care that I'm there ready to shoot.
100%, right?
So I guess I don't know. I mean, I still like it. But it's not my forte. So does that answer your question?
Sure. I like it.
But when it comes to products, products are fun. It really gives me an opportunity to get creative. There's been some really interesting products that have come through the studio. For example, we've shot wigs imported from Nigeria that it was crazy to shoot wigs on busts, like a head.
Yeah.
And having the heads falling over, and it just added a whole new difficulty level to shooting something that I'm not 100% familiar with.
Totally right. So Tracy here, she says she finds most brides look to Pinterest, and then she works with them to bring it into reality. Because the flowers may not be available for their wedding and all that kind of stuff. So you got to modify, right? You got to work with the people and figure things out.
Actually, I really appreciate because everyone's got a different taste.
Yeah.
All brides, everybody, and everyone's creative. I mean, everyone out there is creative in their own way.
That's very diplomatic of you.
Well, I think it's true. I mean, some people are stuck in jobs that they hate, and they can't wait to retire. I've heard lots of people that just say, "Oh, I'm going to retire when I'm 55 or even 40 or whatever." And Trevor, what about you? When are you going to retire? And I just kind of go, retire.
What the heck's that?
I mean, I love what I do. I couldn't imagine not doing what I would just be so bored.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So, Rob had a question actually made me think of something. He says, young people want to know, do you do framing? I love Paula Cook from Webster Gallery. I love that. He's plugging other people. I love it. I'm going to pop that up just again because I think that's really cool that Rob is plugging people on the show.
For sure. The studio actually does quite a few things.
Love it, man.
Yeah. We do have a contract with some framers, and I would definitely love to use Paula Cook at her Avenida Art Gallery.
Oh, there you go. Look at you're doing it too.
I know Paula Cook.
Do you have a product to hold up or?
No, I don't. Sorry, Paula. You should get me something. But yeah, absolutely. It's really changed, though. The industry's changed where people don't do a lot of printing anymore. I don't get a lot of call for it.
That's fair. Well, we just look at it on your phones, right?
Yeah. It's funny. The people People,
when isn't it come back all full circle there, right? Well, we're back to the phones thing because that's what we look at. So, like, are we looking down the road as a society going back and saying, we have really dropped the ball and we're not holding on nostalgically to some of the things that we used to because of how we've taken these things that we used to do and brought them down to this phone size thing that we use? Because that's pretty much where we look at our imagery now, right?
Well, let's look at it this way. If you're going to say that,
I did.
There's drawings on walls in caves.
Yeah.
There's carvings in temples and pyramids and stuff in Egypt.
Right.
This is how people used to tell stories and pass things on. Photography is relatively new in our world. Really, if you think about it, it's only been 150 years, maybe. I don't know. When do you know the history? When we started really with photography?
Well, in the late 1800s. As a matter of fact, there's a quick little fact that's kind of crazy to believe, but in today, people take humanity, so everybody, takes more pictures in one day than all of humanity took in the 1800s. Right?
Oh yeah.
So that's
easy to believe.
Now, so now people have so many pictures, and I mean, I think it's great.
So have we become more vain because how many of them are selfies?
Well, I think.
Okay, let's go there. Seriously.
Yeah, you're talking a different language now because people are doing their selfies.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
We're all in this one. Smile.
Selfie this one.
Okay.
Yeah, get me in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. You're in.
But I mean, that's one thing. But people with selfies, they're looking for likes. They're looking just to show people where they are and what they're doing.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's actually cool. I like that.
Good. Awesome.
Well done, man. So yeah, they're looking for likes and all that kind of stuff. So are we because of
Okay. Here we go, Greg.
We're going life.
Something's
on this one.
brewing in your brain.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah. People take the selfies. They want the likes. They want the attention. Right.
Yeah.
That goes that. So everybody's doing stuff. So which takes me on the marketing side and go, okay, everybody's trying to sell something.
Yeah.
Right. And is that because that as a capitalist society that we have pushed things to the point that your average Joe now just feels like they have to sell all the time because if you're not selling, you're nobody.
Sell. So what are they selling though?
Themselves.
Well,
let's face it, we're always selling ourselves no matter what we're doing, right? Even in this, okay? Like the whole idea realistically about the show was let's talk about the crap and things. Why? Because I want to do it differently than everybody else. But in this sense, I'm doing it differently again, right? And is that just because that's who we are as humans, or is it because of the society we live in?
Well, first of all, humans are very visual. Right.
Yeah, true.
So now that we have a means to be visual, people want to sell themselves. And that's a different kind of selling than if you're a professional wanting to sell something as a professional. So if I think what we're talking about here, Greg, is apples and oranges. So your apples are going to be the prosumer people that have a camera on their phone and they're taking selfies.
I am going somewhere with this. So
I know I'm ready to go down this rabbit hole, but so I mean,
was like, oh crap.
But I mean, what I do, I mean, and I'm in some different organizations and I give some speeches here and there. But I
do
think
any of them have a secret handshake?
We don't have a secret handshake yet.
You should get one.
We should.
It's cool.
We should. But
I forgot ours, man.
But what I'm trying to get people to do is to come, put away their phones for a bit if they're a professional. And don't put their LinkedIn shot from the bathroom with the toilet in the background because they're a professional.
And the person sitting on the toilet at the same time.
People can still tell the difference between professional shots and shots taken from your phone. So some people get really lucky and they get the right composition and the lighting.
Well, that's a fair call. That is totally a fair call. Now, okay, so this is where I kind of go in there. Okay, so we're thinking about the whole selling thing and that everyone's trying to sell and do this and that because we have a certain perception on what we think things should look like.
Yeah.
So let's face it. You got how many women, girls do those fish lips photos because the whole bigger lips is supposed to be attractive. Guys will suck in their gut and whatever because that's going to be more attractive. They're trying to do what they can to sell more, but it is a perception. Is that real? is the thing. I try to, I personally, I try to strive to get to look past that and go, okay, people who are doing that, that's fake. I don't want to be attracted to that part of society and what we do.
Yeah.
I want the reality of people.
I love it. You know what? And I used to when retouching and Photoshop was first in front of me, I would over retouch just because I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, look at the skin. It's so soft and there's no blemishes and their teeth are so white. There's no wrinkles or stretch marks. Like,
okay, Trevor, you're creeping me out. This is like Silence of the Lambs. Don't talk about skin like that.
Well, I thought
there were no lambs in that movie, by the way.
Yeah, I thought that was the cat's ass to just be able to give people.
Right.
I had Mrs. Calgary, for example, and she came in as soon as she won.
Mrs.
It wasn't Miss. Okay. Mrs. Calgary, after she won her pageant with Patty Faulkner, she was in the studio with her flowers before they wilted. So the very next day, and she said, I did the photo shoot with her holding her flowers, and it was quick, good light, and everything was good. But then I retouched in front of her, and she was over my shoulder, and I did what I do.
Yeah.
In a layer, I retouched everything. Like, this is what I do. I retouch everything, like every wrinkle, everything that's out of place. I leave the moles and things like that for afterwards, but and then I dial it back. Okay. So it's in the opacity. It's about, for women, it's a 60% reduction, but it still is there, and it doesn't look plastic like a Barbie. But oh gosh, she said, "What are you doing?"
She didn't want it.
No, she says,
good for her.
No.
No.
She wanted
it up higher.
Oh, she wanted to look like plastic. And so I'm like, oh,
I was giving her kudos there.
Anyway, so I left. Customer's always right.
I had a similar experience on something like that. So it was a salesperson and doing some promo stuff for them. And it was like, I want you to take all my wrinkles out.
Yeah.
Straight up. She had an abundance. Okay. She was an older lady.
Yeah.
It didn't make her a bad person, a bad looking person. That's who she was. So my question on that one is, okay, so if you see that as a consumer, this is who I'm going to be meeting, and you go and meet them and they're quite a bit not that. Is that not like a
weird?
Not a problem. It's weird, right?
I think you need to, yeah.
It's funny to me. So I've got people that, will take a picture, you'll put it on social media, and they'll take it down. It's like, I don't like the way I look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But everybody sees you like that,
right?
Every time you're interacting with a human being, they're seeing you as you. Like, guess what? I got some wrinkles. Guess what? I don't have as much hair as I used to. Guess what?
I saw a picture the other day. No, he doesn't.
No, I can lose some weight. You know what? But that's me. That's who I am.
Yeah. And you know what? And this is, segue back to some kudos for Trevor. That's one thing. So just for anyone watching, the truth is, okay, that Trevor and I are in a business group together. We have been for several years. You joined what, 4 or 5 years ago?
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
So I was
there. Does that one have a secret handshake?
No. You gotta work.
You guys are letting me down.
I know, right?
Yeah.
No, so I was there a year prior to, but I did a bunch of photography from the entertainment stuff with him prior to him joining the group. So it wasn't connected directly to that. And honestly, something that was just said that you got the real picture, and that's what I liked. Because of the fact that I do what I do, and as far as that, he just gave me all the raw stuff and said, "There you go."
Yeah.
He didn't do any editing. How'd you feel about that? Was it weird?
I knew you were. I knew I was giving it to capable hands.
Fair, thank you.
Every client's different. If you have a retouching suite,
okay. So I'm gonna do this because I'm really curious to see what you're. Okay, let's go with this. This could be a segue into our project. How's this? Okay, so I'm gonna pop this. We're gonna go solo on this one. So this is okay, go back to the solo. This is a photo that Trevor took back. It was several years ago.
Yeah,
3-4 years ago. Okay, so this is my Iron Man suit, right? If you zoom into that, you can see a lot of the wrinkle stuff and that because it is made out of EVA foam, right? Especially in the leg there, where the gold is. Would you have changed that? Because this is one he gave me and I did the edit.
Would I have changed it?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you right now, there is one thing that I did a drastic change on this that no one will ever know until I tell you.
Do you know what? Do you know where the answer comes from? The client.
All right.
So it's not my choice to decide. It's really,
okay. Let's say it's given to you, and you got to do things. What would you have done?
Do you want this looking as best as I can make it? Say,
yeah. What would
okay.
what would your offering be? What do you think? I think I should do this.
Okay.
I'm just curious about your eye and see where you're at with that. It's just.
Well, I can see a couple ripples kind of in your abdomen there.
Yeah,
I would have taken those out. I would have made them flat. I would have made them shinier.
Okay.
A couple little wrinkles on your right inner thigh there. I would have taken those creases off.
Yeah.
Left one too. Mm-hmm. What else? So.
No, that's fair.
I mean, and what you did to this is it was originally, I think it was on white background.
It was a white background.
And so you did a complete background switch. I think you did a really good job with it. I mean, you can see I used kicker lights to highlight the back of you. So you actually kept those pretty good in there. That's a tricky one when you're going from a white to a black background and it's not a green screen and you're looking to change the background and you have those edgy kicker highlights. What else would I do?
Cool.
I don't know. I think I would just smooth out any sort of imperfections I found, and that would be quick clone stamping, just that kind of stuff. Use my paintbrush to kind of get rid of some, I guess they look like little dents or whatever, the imperfections.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. I straightened the head out is what I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was angled on that picture. But
I mean, I could do anything a client wants. But, I used to retouch overly, like I said, with Mrs. Calgary and whatnot. But over the years, I've stopped retouching so much, and I really leave it to the client. I did a campaign last week for a big marketing firm, and I was working with a few creative directors on set, and it's not what I want anymore. It's what they want. So when they say we picked these 10 images to go in this magazine or this marketing campaign next week, retouch them. So I mean, there's so many.
And unless
things.
They say, "What do you think?"
I mean, for one of the shoots, for example, we were on the roof of a yoga studio in Inglewood, and it was 8:15 in the morning, so really early. Sun hadn't come up yet. First thing I did is I made the sky blue and I gave it some punch, but it's for a campaign for brain injury awareness, that kind of thing, mental illness. So the client, her feedback was to just keep it gray because, hey, sometimes we have gray days, you know? So what I was going to do wasn't what they wanted to have done.
It didn't fit within their vision.
But the thing is, I really wanted to make the sky blue. I wanted to make it look beautiful. And I wanted to make and that's what I would do for the sale of homes, real estate, that kind of stuff. But
that's fair. Because back to that picture, myself, like some of the stuff you said, totally. I saw that one. I could, and I went, no, that's not what they're going to see when I show up.
Yeah.
And I don't want them thinking they're getting, pristine this.
Yeah.
And you come up and they go, oh, but let's face it.
Yeah.
The other sells more.
Yep. And it's what they want.
But it comes down to perception again. And this is a discussion we had before, which is where I was eventually going. Okay. So we got there. Is people's perception about how they see things and the reality of things are two different things. Mm-hmm. As an example, okay, so there is a group, and I'll tell you right now, they may have come watch this. They may be on there right now. I don't know who's watching right now. But one of the things that happened is I'm a member of a Captain Jack Sparrow impersonators group, believe it or not.
Do you have a picture of that?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I could probably call it up on Facebook and go to the group. Maybe I'll do that. No, because we're a secret group and nobody needs to see where we are. So anyway, so we're on that, and I said, you know what, guys, I'd love to have you guys up as a and do a show with you guys, because it would be awesome to have a whole bunch of Captain Jack Sparrow impersonators in the room and all chatting and who goes first. I know Dell's like, I don't know. You'd have to be with me on that one so you could walk out of the room.
I'm out. I'm not gonna be
I think it'd be hilarious. So on that, right? So it'd be really cool to have them that. But we have some of them on there who are really big on the SA, which is screen accuracy. Okay. You've got to have your costume, just like this. And I have a healthy respect for them. I will say that. I think it's really cool they do that. But that said, I work as an impersonator too, and I have stuff I think it's really, bless you, man. That was well done. No, I got the stuff that's kind of really that fits the perception of what people think they remember, because they don't remember it all the exact things that you see in the movie. They just don't remember it all. It doesn't work that way, to the point that, and this is where I said to Trevor that after the first movie was released, I remember doing a show, and a woman saw me as I was leaving, and she goes, great costume in that, but you don't have enough rings.
Yeah.
In the first movie, he did not have like she said I should have 3 or 4 on each hand. First movie, he didn't have that. And I was like, that's her perception. That's what she thought it should be, right? So that's where
get more rings.
Yeah, right. Well, I have since, because so did he. But it's neat. So it's where I'm going there is that, like, when you're talking about touching up and doing all those things, and you used to, right? And you've realized, my guess is that you've realized that doing all that is for you, and that's because that's what your perception is, and ultimately the client's going to have a different perception. So why waste your time? Fair?
Yeah.
Is that not how we grow in all the industry, and whoever you are in the industry that you're actually in, though? You start to understand how it operates more internally, and how the people that you work with do, and you realize that you've maybe gone and done more than you need to. Thinking, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's interesting when we're doing photo direction or video direction. We tell our people that it's not what you shot necessarily, because what you shot isn't what the client's going to see in the end. We're going to change that image. We're going to do some stuff, and we're going to make them see what we want them to see a little bit. And we're not necessarily fooling people, but we can change little things to make them see what we want them to see.
Yeah, you totally are.
Fooling them?
Yeah, totally.
No, I don't think so, because I think the artistic process disagrees with you.
Perceptions. That's what we do when it comes to any kind of design work, any kind of Photoshop work or video work. We are manipulating people's perceptions of, okay, let's nail it. Go into fashion and model photography.
Oh, cool.
Right. That's been a subject for years and years and years, because of how much reworking is done to form the perfect image.
Yeah.
And I say perfect because that whose perception are we using here?
Yeah.
And let's be real, you can do it.
Oh, absolutely. You can change someone's face so much. I mean, you go and liquefy, you can make their eyes bigger, you can do anything. I mean, really, you have a toolbox in front of you that is got every tool that you ever need to do anything that you want to do to an image. I mean, you could do anything.
Yeah, and that is a severe angle, and I know that. I'm saying that on purpose just to get the point across, is that we do to a certain extent, like when you're touching up the lighting and stuff like that. We saw some of those pictures, and realistically, that house, the one on the right, obviously, that's the one I want to buy, whether the recycling bin was there or not. But the other one, no, that doesn't work. I don't really like that one so much. I'm not going to be as interested. I'm going to go to the next one when I'm looking through the ads, right?
Right.
So we are manipulating at the point of selling, which comes back to the capitalist thing. Is that really what are we doing there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just going to take bad pictures from now on.
You're just going to take bad pictures just to fit.
Yeah.
Bob Dixon, he's clapping. I think he likes it. He either likes the commenters enjoying the show. I don't know. It's all good. Thanks, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
But yeah, and everybody does it, and this is, and I'm not saying that we've got to stop, but I think we've come to a point in our society where that we have to start, or we need to start being a little more happy with
realism.
With real and average, because realistically, we all are real and average. Go into the ads or the people that get rich quick programs. We can do this, and that's not real, right? Sure, there's some people who make some money quicker than others, but that's the reality is we're all working, we're all doing hard, and those who are making loads of money are probably working even harder and have a lot more stress on them than some of the other guys do. Photos wise, we try to change images and get things so that people are going to be more. It's going to be more appealing to people. I'd like to think that's changing, because you're seeing a little more use of real people in ads.
True.
So hopefully less Photoshop work. And I'm not saying we should get rid of it all. I'm not saying Trevor, stop what you're doing by all means.
Well, I mean, I'm changing too, right? So I'm not over retouching. I'm keeping things real. I had a photo shoot today, and after the photo shoot, she talked about her moles on her face, and I'm like, well,
but they're there.
They're there, and she kind of didn't. The way she talked about it, she didn't like
Thanks,
it.
Bob.
So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reduce them by 60%. You're gonna see them, but they're not gonna be as prevalent. And then she's like, but what about all my acne? I'm like, well, I'll take all that off because
that can go away.
Tomorrow you're gonna wake up, and if you know,
okay, what's that skin condition where you got like blotches of darker lighter color and stuff? What's that called? Tanya, you're in the other room. Do you know what that is?
Blotch or lighter colors.
It starts with an A or something, doesn't it?
It's called being a redhead with all the freckles. No.
Yeah, it's a freckle thing. That's right. Something alopecia or something.
I know what you mean.
What was that? Alopecia's hair. Okay. So let's go. So that right there, and there's a commercial that I saw or been seeing on TV. And there's a woman there, and she's got all the blotches and stuff, and she's just, this is me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I've seen that.
Because it used to, we cover that up.
I don't know, man. I think that's beautiful. I think that's great. You know why it's beautiful? It's because it's unique. And
yeah.
I think that people need to be more unique nowadays because everyone seems to want to be the same person, right?
And take that. Apply what you do as far as just lighting alone. Okay, this is almost taking us back to the old days. But you can then, do you set your speed wherever, do your lighting, whatever, and you can capture some amazing things from people on the uniqueness as opposed to having you touch it up after.
Absolutely.
Vitiligo. Thank you. Vitiligo. Thank you. It's called vitiligo. Thank you.
Search it up. Yeah, I think in a perfect world that would be the way, you take a picture of a person. I mean, your photography still gives you the opportunity to light the person and to compositionally put them in different unique angles and, positions and things like that. But
that's what makes you good at what you do. Seriously.
Well, and
because that's really, because as we've said, anybody can pick up a camera or a phone. Yeah. Anybody can do that. And yes, sometimes they're going to get a lucky shot.
Do you know what I used to do? It's funny. I used to shoot. Well, I still do, but I did a lot of modeling agencies and acting agencies. Yeah. But back in film days, I was shooting just 35 mil because you're shooting so many people, and the medium format and the Hasselblad you couldn't shoot as many shots. You get rolls of 12 and 24. But when I was shooting rolls of 36, and I would literally have, if someone wasn't comfortable, and no one's comfortable, I would shoot the first roll, and it was great. And I would be like, after I shot a first roll, which was about 36 shots, I said to her, "You're ready for film." And she's like, "What?" And the mom would go, "You son of a bitch." But I'm like, okay, you know what? I think that you're ready now because now you're more comfortable and now we're in a little more flow. So I'd put film in and she'd watch me do it. And I'm like, "You're ready." And guess what happens is she's still a little nervous, but by the end of the second roll, it's just so much better. And you could tell on every photo shoot, the first
part. Did you actually use film the first one? You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Okay, awesome.
I didn't want to waste film on shots that weren't going to be as good as the last shots because the last shots are always the best shots.
Fair.
Because people are finally getting used to the lightings, the strobes. It's not a comfortable environment for people that...
Well, it's not natural, right?
It's not natural, man. Yeah. It's not. I mean, every time I shoot, I hide around a corner. It's my little trick, right? And I'm not like I'm a stalker.
Okay, I just got to ask this just out of curiosity, and I think I'm hoping maybe you are.
Maybe I'm not.
No, and this is just me going, okay, you've never done those shots where you've had them sit there and turn their head in a weird way. You've never done that, right?
The Napoleon Dynamite shot?
Is that what it is?
Oh, I'll definitely.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Only because it's funny.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, respect is back.
Right, I'll be Austin Powers for some, and I'll throw a fake camera across the room and smash it. But but you know what I mean? Like even because everybody knows what the blue steel is from Zoolander, right? Everyone knows blue steel.
Do it, Joe.
Right? There you go.
Oh, hold on. No, I'm just getting you solo. Oh, there you go. Look at I got him to do that.
But I mean,
it's live.
in a photo shoot when you said you got the real me.
Yes.
That's what I strive to do. And I think that's maybe what makes me a little different is I will not just take a picture and say goodbye.
Yeah.
Right. I will.
Speaking of saying goodbye.
Oh.
This is where Del comes in and says it's been an hour.
It's been an hour.
I told him you do that. He says, "How long?"
That was a perfect segue. I don't know how you planned that. It's a perfect segue.
I know, right? That was pretty good. No, we asked how long. I said, "Well, the shortest one we've had has been 45 minutes. That was last week's."
Yeah.
And then, or 2 weeks ago. And then I said, and then the other's been an hour because Del comes in and says, "Well, it's been an hour." And good. Yeah. Well done. Well done.
I got the kids. I got stuff. I got to do things.
No, that was cool.
Well, let's have you back. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
This is fun, and that's so.
Well,
so
you
now
gotta
you
come
know.
back.
Yeah.
You got to come back for the Photoshop challenge. We got to.
That's right. So before we go, we got to figure out the Photoshop challenge and what it's going to be.
Let's do a post
challenge.
Let's also do a post. Let's do a post about it. So everyone who's watched or whatever, that's fine. But we'll also do a post about it and see what people's suggestions are. And maybe there could be a prize. I think there should be a prize. So I think whoever has the winning suggestion of whatever we're going to do is going to get some sort of image stop swag.
Oh, leave it on your shoulders.
Put it on me. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, why not? It's your show.
It's my show. Yeah, right. Jeez. All right. Let's do it. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll get the post ready. I'll send it to you guys. We'll all post it around the same time. We'll get some ideas and we'll decide. And we'll start by next week, Monday. How's that?
That's cool. It'll take me 4 minutes.
What to post?
4 minutes to do the photoshopping.
I'm that good.
Yeah. He liked to believe that.
Take out the red eye in this guy.
Yeah, right. No, I think we should.
We're gonna still red eye.
Let's take the top 3. So we'll each take our favorite one. Of the answers that we get, and we'll combine it for one thing.
Okay,
that's what we'll do.
It's gonna be crazy. I like it.
It'll be insane. I love it.
I'm excited.
Perfect.
Okay, we're in. All right.
Okay.
That's good. So I'm just gonna say goodbye while you're here, Dal, so you can be part of it. Thanks for being part of it, Trevor. So that was awesome.
Thanks, Greg, for having me on.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love doing this. This is really cool. So so anybody who happens to watch the recording or might be watching right now, we still got some people here at the end. Just as a reminder that we're doing this every other Wednesday. There may be a shift coming in the Christmas season. We'll see what happens. But as it is right now, it's every other Wednesday, 7:30 Mountain Time. Here we do the live thing, and we'd love you to be a guest too. So you go onto website VU, and what you do is you fill out the application that's on there. By doing that, we...
Sorry, I'm buzzing.
He's going to play for a while.
I'm going to buzz you.
So we get the application. We go and take that. We schedule in, and you come in and you have some fun with this because the idea is to talk about the crap in the industries, talk about some stuff, have some fun with the discussions, and a little bit of promo to say, hey, we got some good people to work with. So I think that sums it up nice. I'm good with that.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Del.
Thanks, guys.
All right. See you guys later.
Setting up your office again just to come in. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of what this actually looks like right now.
Yeah. You'll post it later.
It's perception's everything, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome, see you guys.
Have a good night.
Have a good night,
guys. So the funny thing is when I hit end broadcast, it keeps going for a bit. So right now we're probably still recording.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of fun. So Dell's gone now. And see, then this window comes up eventually. It's that process.